In this video, we will write a script which gets email addresses from a CSV file. It gets many email addresses and sends an email to each of these addresses. Let's do that. I'm going to fork the send single email REPL. Send email to CSV contacts. A few things we need to do first is we want to go to secrets and create a new secret. Remember, password is the key that gives us the password value. For this Gmail address that I'm using for this app, the password is flask7app. But this will not work for you because I will change this password, even though this is just a throwaway account. Add new secret, and after you have added the secret, the password should be available through this command. Then we need a CSV file with some test email addresses. You can create one CSV file right here by going to add file and say contacts.csv, and then, as you may know, a CSV file is a comma separated file. So in a text file you write a format that applications such as a Python application can understand. So it could be like name and email. So we have two columns, and then you can add rows. Let's say yash, and for emails I'm going to use dropmail.me, and I'm going to use this email, so copy that, and also open another window for dropmail.me, so I have two email addresses, two different ones, this one and that. So copy the first one, paste it in here. So make sure there is a comma after the first name and the email address, and also a comma after name here. So this is a header of our data, and these are the data. Let's say Jim has this other email address, copy that, paste it in here, and that should do it. So close the CSV file. You see I'm double checking it, the data are there. So let's go to main.py now, and we are ready to send this email to those users via this email account. So what can we do? Well, the receiver will not be a static string anymore, so I'm gonna have to delete that receiver. Let's keep the subject like that, the content like that for now. And well, now when we think about doing the same thing multiple times, a for loop comes in our mind. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a for loop. But what are we iterating over? Well, I think it should be some sort of a list or a pandas data frame maybe that accesses these contacts. Therefore, first we need to create a pandas data frame out of that CSV file using the read CSV method of pandas. And in quotes here we pass contacts.csv, like that. Now, before I go any further, I would like to see if this data frame is being generated correctly. So I want to see the actual data before we build the for loop. So I'm going to press Ctrl/ or Command/ to comment this block of code, because all I need for now is just to know how the data frame looks like. So I'm going to run the script and see the output of the data frame. Then we can go further and build the for loop. So this way of programming with steps helps you keep motivated and not get overwhelmed. So we got an error, pandas is not imported, I forgot to import it. No problem, now pandas is going to be installed by REPL. And that's our data frame, so it looks okay. This is a header, you see it outcasted here on the top, and these are the indexes, so row with index 0, row with index 1, Yash and Jim. Right, everything is working fine, so we want to iterate through Yash and Jim. Therefore, I'm going to uncomment this with command / or control /, and to iterate over a data frame, you say for index row, so these are just two variables, you can use whatever you like. In df is a data frame, iter rows with $R. So now what do we want to do in each iteration? Do we want to create a protocol in each iteration? So do you think this is a good idea to have it here? Which means that we're logging into our Gmail account in every and each iteration. So if we had like 100 iterations, we would have to log in 100 times. That is a bad idea. So I'm going to cut this and log in before we iterate. So perhaps somewhere here makes sense. So we have the sender, the subject, the contents, then we log in, and then let me delete this. Then we send multiple emails. So in the first iteration, we will send an email to row. So what is row and what is index? We can check those with print index. So let's print index first and execute. So that print out was from this data frame. And then we have the indexes. So this is the index, the first iteration, we get index 0, and then we get index 1 in the second iteration. And if you print the row, that will be the actual, so row number 1 with index 1 and the second row. So these are the actual rows of the data frame. And if you go even further and let's say you print out email of that row, let me comment this not to confuse you. Let's see what email will print out. So email is the actual email of that particular row. So with that, we can now delete this print statement and uncomment that. And here we say row square bracket email in quotes close square bracket. So we send an email to each email address. So that's column, right? And subject is this subject here. And then contents here is this contents here. But I would like to make this contents dynamic. So what I'll do is I'm going to cut this variable declaration from there and generate a dynamic content here. With dynamic strings, we mean using an f string. So we add f before this multi-line string, and then we could say something like hi and a placeholder. So here comes the variable row, the name of the person. So that is the name column, right? So in this iteration, it will get the name of the person and place it in the contents. And then we get the contents and send it out by email through our Gmail account. Yeah, that looks good to me. What do you think? Are there any issues you could see here? So let's try out. So by mistake, I put a password that is not an app password on Gmail. So I'm going to have to change this. Secret. I can do that by using the a row editor here, and so you have to be careful. Inside the quotes, I'm going to enter the new app password that I created for Gmail and paste that password in here. And oh, careful with the quotes, so it has to be like that. Save. Run. So we got 2 emails sent, printed out, and I think we got the emails as well. So hi Yash for the first one, hi Jim for the second email address. So that was working. So a question for you: how do you think we could improve this program even further? So try to think about that and maybe post in the Q&A. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you.